Anneliese Michel was 16 years old when she experienced a seizure and was diagnosed with psychosis caused by temporal lobe epilepsy. Shortly after, she was diagnosed with depression and was treated in a psychiatric hospital. By the time she was 20 years old, she had become intolerant to various religious objects and locations and regularly heard voices. Her condition worsened despite several medication regimens, and she also began to contemplate self harm. After taking psychiatric medications for 5 years, had no results, Mitchell and her family became convinced she was possessed by a demon. As a result, her family appealed to the Catholic Church for an exorcism. The church rejected them at first, though eventually two priests got permission from the local bishop, Joseph Stangl, to perform the exorcism in 1975. The priests began performing exorcisms, and the family stopped consulting doctors. Mitchell stopped eating food and eventually died of what was called malnourishment and dehydration after 67 exorcism sessions. Mitchell's parents and the two Catholic priests were found guilty of negligent homicide and were sentenced to 6 months in jail, even though their charges were later reduced to 3 years of probation. Several religious horror films are based on this story, including the 2005 film The Exorcism of Emily Rose. This is the TeeJay Felony deep dive of the Anneliese Michel exorcism tapes. Hey, what's up, everybody? TeeJay Felony here. I got a new project I've been wanting to do here. This is gonna be part one of my deep dive into the Anneliese Michel tapes. I'll give a little intro into this. I tried to do this back when I first started making content. I wanted to do something like this. I was gonna do like perhaps like a dialogue or something because they're in German. These tapes are all in German, and I um I started I don't know, man. It's hard to explain. I started having bad dreams about this. I started hearing the voice in my head and stuff more, and like while I was at work and stuff. So I kind of put it on hold, and but yeah, I came back to it now, and so it's gonna be part one of three parts. I've gotten all the recordings of the actual exorcisms that I can find online. I'm sure there's more out there, but I just couldn't find them. They're all coming from a YouTube channel called a guy named Chad Hunt. He's just a guy, Christian, had these on his channel because he thought it was important. And I messaged him a few times asking him if I could go ahead and use the audio from these recordings, even though, he doesn't really own the audio. But I thought didn't hear back, but I figured he wouldn't mind considering this is the reason I'm making these videos are for educational purposes to inform, and this case really impacted me a lot. And I grew up hardline atheist, almost like one of the spiteful, like frustrated atheist types. And I'm telling you, these tapes and these recordings, they really changed the way I looked at things. The Catholic faith, angels, demons, all of it. And I think um, I think that's probably what uh, Chad Hunt wanted when he, put these on his YouTube channel, was to spread and spread the word, the good word of God. But this case, it's just like anything else. It's very controversial. You're gonna have people that are gonna con- say it was clearly mental health. This was, the Catholic Church dropping the ball, and then you're gonna have people that listen to these tapes and say, that it's clear proof of demonic possession. And I tend to lean towards the latter, as surprising as that may be. And I'll explain it as we go along. I found that to get permission to do exorcism for one. The Catholic Church doesn't take it lightly. They need proof that it's justified, that they're not being hoaxed. And one of the things that they commonly use to justify an exorcism is it's called unknown knowledge or forbidden knowledge. The person that's possessed displays information that they shouldn't have. They can't have, like, how they've never came into contact. And you'll see that Anneliese throughout these she displays this forbidden knowledge thing where it's like, how did she know about this? She never met these people. She just knew things. And you'll see. And so the format I wanted to do is I've got they're all in 10-minute segments, and there's 9 of them, so I figured it's an hour and a half of footage from the exorcism tapes. And I'm gonna do a half an hour each part. So I'll do part one. I broke the first three of the videos, and I'm not sure what order they were in. They were just kind of given, on the channel, and this is really the only recordings I can find of the actual exorcism. You get a lot of YouTube channels saying, "Oh, they the real tapes," but none of them have the actual recordings. This is the only actual recordings I can find, and I'll do a half an hour at a time. I'll play them like I do my U of A Twitter stuff, and we'll stop and break it down when I find things important, 'cause there's a lot, man. And I want to give a warning. I don't know how the hitchhiker effect and how these things work. I just know when I started deep diving this case, there's a lot of things we don't understand, and I just want to give a warning that I did have some bad dreams. And if you are susceptible or worried about some type of hitchhiker effect, whatever, these are going to be the actual recordings, as far as I know, of the exorcism of Anneliese Michel. So if you do believe in things like the hitchhiker effect, however, so there's a lot of people online that do. And I know a lot of these ghost shows do that. They say that stuff to kind of scare people, but I'm just trying to give you a fair warning that this is a very dark topic. And many people do believe this is the voice of a demonic entity speaking, so it's just a fair warning. And this video is for educational purposes. It's to inform the public about the case of Anneliese Michel. All right, so go ahead and start playing it. Voice is real disturbing. One thing I did want to talk about, just get at, just I had a theory about the voice. Everyone gets stuck on this creepy voice. When you hear a radio, coming in staticky, and it's got the behind it, and the voice is kind of crackling through. I have a theory that that's why it sounds like this, because what's happening is you have a being speaking through someone from another dimension, possibly, and the sound might get distorted. That might, and it sounds horrifying and scary to us. But I'm wondering if a lot of times we're just not understanding what we're seeing and hearing. But it's just a theory. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and start playing this, and I'll pause it and we'll talk about it. I'll break down things I find important. This box right here is gonna be the translation because it's all in German. The exorcism is in German, so it has to be translated. And this was taking from Chad Hunt's YouTube channel. This box right here. So go over and check out Chad Hunt's YouTube. That's where the exorcism recordings came from. And like I said, they were the only ones I could find on the internet. All right, let's get ready. Here we go.
Rosenkrantz-Monat, weißt du ja, ne?
Ja, aber die
Rosenkrantz-Monat.
wenigsten beten
So, do you
daran.
know it's Rosary
Ja,
Month?
und in Kirchen
The
wird auch
entity
alles
said yes, but very
alles
few are
tun
praying.
und dann
Ja,
ja.
alle,
Make sure the sound ain't too much here. You stupid pigs only know. You notice it'll mention pigs a lot. He asked, "Are you afraid of the rosary?" And she said yes. He said, "Why?" You notice it got that's important. It got a real violent reaction out of the rosary, and what it was doing was um like tormenting her with it. And that's one thing you'll notice throughout as a theme is it seemed that a lot of the damage was being done to, Annalise's body, and it was with these relics and these rituals and, holy water, and it wasn't Annalise that was reacting badly, it was the entity, depending on if you believe that. And that seemed to be what led to her death, even though, malnourishment and dehydration definitely had something to do with it. Uh, I honestly believe she's in pain when you hear her reacting to the rosary and the holy water and stuff. So it's powerful. No, I won't say anything. So they try to get it to admit things, and it'll back off, like it'll catch itself. It's a powerful wet. Shut your mouth. See, so they're fighting with each other in there. That was important. It went, it's a powerful weapon, and then it stopped, and you heard another, it went, shut your mouth. It claims there are six, you'll see later, entities inside of it. So there'll be conversations going amongst them, the different entities inside Annalise. Because it's a powerful weapon, yes. And finally it admits, yes, against all demons. The rosary. Against us, I have to say it, you forced me.
Der Rosenkranz eine gewaltige Macht gegen Satan und alle Dämonen.
This is interesting. I want to pause on this part right here. Look what the entity says. It says, but luckily few believes in this. They think it's just an old toy, an object for women. Luckily. So what the entity was saying is people don't even realize that this is a powerful weapon against demons and possession. They just think it's what, grandma keeps in her drawer, and that lucky for us, which I thought that was real interesting.
Wer ist der Schuld daran? Ihr.
He said, who's to blame for this? Us. We're the ones to
Das
blame
wird
for why people don't take the rosary seriously.
wird
Us. He's asking it now. Do you know it's a rosary? But said, don't waste money on it. Giggles.
Der kostet ja
So
was.
is it worth anything?
Ja.
For him, yes.
So, die Arbeit.
These conversations are just so fascinating, man. You'll see a theme. It plays out more like a homicide detective interrogating a suspect. Like it doesn't. It, they seem to be the priests are convinced. They're it's not like they're trying to prove the it's demonic possession as instead of mental illness. They're fully convinced. They're trying to gather intel at this point, it appears. They're trying to get information like from this entity. It's strange, man.
Die Drecksau, die Bäden. Das kann Ihnen noch euer Glück sein. Aber das Team, das gäbe Sachen, wenn die Drecksau, die das haben die hineingepflanzt.
Du meinst, die habe ich jetzt von mir genommen.
Ja, ja.
That voice.
Wollte das nicht haben. Oder in die Hände gibt.
You wouldn't like it to be taken into your hands, would you?
Nee.
He's trying to place the rosary like
Ja.
next to her and it getting violent reactions out of her. I don't like saying her because I think she was possessed by a demon, a demonic entity, so I don't think this isn't Anneliese.
Das müssen Sie dir Drecksauer Westbuchstaben kapiert?
More. They're always the priests are always doing that. More, more. Give us more.
Von dir, du
That's pure misery in that voice. More, more. Give us more.
Du das nicht.
Noch mehr.
Halt dir Maul! Ja, die Kirche bänkt muss wieder neu.
This crappy furniture.
Kirchenbank.
The communion kneeler? Yes.
Communion.
This is another theme. It's this entity is very upset about the Catholic Church losing its rituals, its traditions, people getting lazy, and which isn't something you would expect from a demon. You would think they would be happy if, priests were, slipping, basically. And it seems to be very upset about people in the Catholic Church not remembering the traditions and basically slipping, losing their faith, which that was one of the things that really caught me off guard about this whole these tapes is it made me wonder what are demons? What are these things? Because they appear to be working like with God in a way. You'll see as it goes on.
Noch mehr.
More. Give us more.
Die müssen als Priester
They have to be
gesandt
easily recognizable as
und
priests.
zweimal
Always.
kapiert?
They should always be dressed in their priest outfits. Do you get it? Along that theme, priests are getting lazy. They're trying to hide that they're priests. They're trying to blend in with. They need to. You need to be able to see, and they always need to be dressed and easily identified as priests. Why would a demon want that? Like, why would a demon? I guess you would want to know your enemies, right? You wouldn't want them sneaking up on you.
Noch
More,
mehr.
more, give us more.
Noch mehr.
Heiraten dürfen sie auch
And they
nicht.
can't get married.
Auftrag von der.
The priest cannot get married.
Ja.
The mother of God? Yes. Say more. Give us more.
Noch mehr sagen.
And they can't return to the church service if they've done it. Married. If they've been married, they can never come back.
Darum.
Why not? Because
Und es muss Gebet werden.
one has to pray. One has to pray. A demon and what it makes you wonder, like, what is going on? One has to pray. That what are demons? And this is if you believe this is an entity speaking through this young girl. If you think it's just a crazy person, obviously this isn't going to mean anything to you. But I just hope people will listen to this with an open mind and keep that what I talked about with secret knowledge because the entity explains or displays it throughout.
Wo? Wo?
In den Kirchen. Und in den Familien. Und vor allem den Scheißen.
The rosary.
Ja.
Yes, but I won't say anything more.
Oder dass der Gift.
You are allowed to give her a
Oder
poison.
sag wieder.
I don't know if that was talking about Anneliese or. Lay down, Xan.
Ich bin Nero.
I am Nero. Okay, that's important. I am. I am Boone. No, I am Nero. I am the third in the group. Annalise claimed to have 6 entities in her, and one was Nero.
Oh, Nero.
More, more, more. Give us more. That's the priest. You have to go with these crappy tapes. Go to Wurzburg. this is important also. And I did want to mention this. It the entity seems very determined to have these tapes spread. They wanted their voice to spread, and they wanted this story, to be told for whatever reason, whatever motive. And it started when the first time I tried to tell this story. It started to get in my head if I was playing a part in that, spreading the word in the voice of this entity, and it was kind of messing with my head a little bit, and because you'll see throughout the tapes that this entity knows that a crucial part of this is that this is recorded and lives throughout time, because they understand time and history and how you can have ripple effects in time, and one thing that's created this decade can come pop up decades later.
Scheiß gelogen jetzt Muscheln.
It
Und
did.
dann,
He's asking like what else? They give them other people so they could learn about us. How? How they has to throw them out. Wurzburg.
Pittsburgh,
The entity wants its message spread. It wants people to hear
Priester-Konferenz.
this. The priest conference? And okay, this is um this is an example of when I was talking about the secret knowledge thing. Um, this Wurzburg thing. You can hear it in his voice that's relevant to him. And he's trying to ask like why Wurzburg? Why did you say Wurzburg? Are you talking about the priest conference? Like what are you applying to? And that's the forbidden knowledge. She knows the Wurzburg is where they're having this conference, and she wants these tapes spread there. But of course, he didn't tell her about Wurzburg in this upcoming priest conference. It's fucking with that priest's head. And he's like, wait a minute, how did you know about Wurzburg?
Sozusagen
The priest board?
Priesterin.
So, dass an die meisten
Yes, so the
Eltern
majority
und
of people would get would be
verwirrt.
get it more.
Noch mehr,
Als Maul.
noch mehr,
You ought
Ich
to
soll
shut
ihr
up.
am Maul halten.
noch mehr sagen.
I'll say more.
Noch mehr sagen.
Die Schwestern
The
müssen
nuns
in
must wear
ihre
their
Orden
convent
zeigen.
clothes. Again, traditions, values, they're getting lazy with their faith.
Noch mehr,
Nein.
noch mehr,
Sandy,
noch mehr.
the Pope is to be respected. Look at that one. The Pope is to be respected. Demon one is pissed off because people ain't showing the Pope enough respect.
Muss Gehorsam geleistet werden.
More, tell us everything.
Alles.
Seht ihr einen Pfarrer?
The parishers must
Müssen Sie
again
das
tell people that I exist
predigen, dass mich gibt?
and not to
Oder es
mislead
folgt den
people. The
Jüngsten?
the devil
Das
exists?
ist doch scheiße.
Yes.
Ja!
Wow. The people must be made
Muss
aware
mal
of it.
bewusst gemacht werden.
So this is where you wonder, like, does this entity work for the devil, but who does the devil work for? Like, it, I started to land on the theory that basically these entities are just a branch, another branch of God. Like they're a division, but they work for him. They serve their purpose. And it's to pop up and put these priests in line for one and let them know that God is not happy with what's happening. It's similar to that movie Legion, the plot of Legion with Paul Bettany.
Und des Sohnes und des Heiligen Geistes. Amen.
We don't have all the information.
Ketzer.
We're missing a lot. That's
Wer
enough
redet
for
denn?
now. You don't need any more.
So?
The Dutch bishops are heretics, though.
Nein, noch nicht. Alles sagen. Alles sagen. Jesu und im Namen Maria,
Wir
befehle
sind
ich
Papst
dir.
untreu.
As far as all her family and her friends said, Anneliese Michel wasn't like highly religious in any way. She was from a small family, humble family. I think from a farming community. The family were Catholics, but they weren't. It wasn't a major part of her life growing up, where all this information she has about the Catholic faith, it's all basically unknown origin, like where she got all this information.
Befehle ich dir, unreiner Geist, alles zu sagen im Namen Jesu und im Namen Maria. Im Namen der Dreifaltigkeit, im Namen des Vaters, des Sohnes und des Heiligen Geistes. Amen.
They're doing prayers over
Du
her
musst
now.
alles sagen, was du mir zu sagen hast. Im Namen des Vaters und des Sohnes und des Heiligen Geistes. Amen. Die Mutter Gottes wird dich dazu zwingen. Im Namen Jesu und im Namen Maria. Im Namen des Vaters und des Sohnes und des Heiligen Geistes. Amen. Im Namen
Dass die Abtreibung
des Sohnes und des Heiligen Geistes. Amen. Sage alles. Alles. Im Namen des Vaters und des Sohnes
Gott ist.
und des Heiligen Geistes. Amen.
Und zwar egal ab welchem Monat
It doesn't matter
abgetrieben
what
wird.
month it is, it's done.
So.
Das wissen wir alle. Das ist noch nicht alles
See, I
getan.
think when they do
Du
these
musst
prayer
jetzt alles
sessions, they're
sagen.
Und
trying to weaken
zwar,
its will.
dass die
And then they'll
Dinge,
kind of,
die Embryos
dig down on her.
nicht zur Anschauung Gottes gelangen. So.
Oh,
Sage die
this
Wahrheit.
is interesting.
Ja,
This is about abortions because they are not baptized. This the entity tries saying that baptized children do not go to heaven because they never were um um aborted children do not go to heaven because they were never baptized. They never saw the face of God. They didn't get the chance to. So they're damned is basically what the entity tries to say. And they basically through prayer force it to admit the truth that that's not true. It's the father of lies,
Nicht in die
you
Hölle.
know.
nein.
Wohin?
They're saying, well, where does it go? And this is the next section.
Wohin?
Where do they
Danuf.
go? Danuf.
Wohin?
Ja, der Scheiß, was kann ich
I
nicht
can't say
In
that
den
word.
Himmel.
Ja,
Yes,
Also doch.
so they do go
ja,
there.
aber nicht so.
Yes, but not to the.
Vater,
It's talking about a
Vater der
section of
Liebe,
heaven.
sage die Wahrheit.
You
Im
mean that
Namen
they
des
don't go to
Vaters
watch
und des
God's
Sohnes
face,
und des
which is heaven? You know, so in the vision of God is what heaven is. You're in the presence of God for eternity. And they say, you mean they don't get to go watch God's face? Almost like they're asking, like curious, like because it's talking about aborted babies.
Heiligen Geistes. Amen.
Nicht zur Anschauung Gottes meinst du?
Ja, ja.
Yeah,
Sind aber
yeah,
glücklich.
yeah.
Glaubt doch niemand.
But are they happy?
Halt
They
dein
can't
Maul.
watch him.
Sage die
And
ganze
the priest
Wahrheit.
says,
Sage
shut your
noch
foul
mehr.
mouth.
Im Namen des
Tell the whole
Vaters und
truth.
des
In the
Sohnes
name of
und
the
des
Father, and
Heiligen
the Son, and the
Geistes.
Holy
Amen.
Spirit, tell
So,
the
das ist
truth.
noch nicht all, ne?
Nein,
No, it's not
im Namen
enough
des
for you.
Vaters und des Sohnes und des Heiligen Geistes.
I
Amen.
won't say anything
Sage
more.
die ganze Wahrheit.
Tell the whole truth.
Wahrheit sage ich
No,
nicht.
I won't say anything more. They keep praying.
Sage die ganze Wahrheit im Namen des Vaters und des Sohnes und des Heiligen
Ja,
Geistes.
für die
Amen.
Scheiß, die
Well, you must wear this shitty thing. It's talking
Und
about
das
his like
Gewand?
priest robe, probably.
Oh, die müssen als
You must be
Priester
easily identified as priest. It starts raging as that. And he says, yes, I think the same way. I agree.
Der Aschebeichte.
That
Oder
dirty
die
pig
Drecksau da
outside.
draußen.
Somebody outside it seems to really dislike their presence.
Alles zu sagen, was du zu sagen hast. Im Namen
Ja,
Jesu
und
und
die
im
Leute
Namen
sollen
People have to be a
beichten.
confession. Again, traditions. People slipping away from the faith and not following through. People need to go to confession. Why would a demon be saying people need to go to confession? It's
So,
Im Namen Jesu und der Maria befehle ich dir,
Nein!
alles zu sagen. Im Namen Jesu und der
Scheißding!
Maria
Scheißding,
befehle
das
ich dir,
schmeiß
alles
überall
zu
raus.
sagen.
I throw it away, this shitty thing. It must be like grabbing at
Was?
his
Ein
rosary,
Beichte.
so. At a confessional.
Persönliche Beichte. Bekennen.
Nein!
That that growl right there, when I was trying to do the deep dive the first time on this these tapes in this case, that growl it stuck. It stuck in my like ear and I kept hearing it and I I'm gonna I don't want to do it again, but I did it last time. I analyzed the audio on it and there appears to be more than one voice layered and it just man. No girl, I don't care mentally ill or what, made that growl. She would do this day after day too, and never lose her voice.
Im Namen Jesu und im Namen Maria befehle ich dir, alles zu sagen, im Namen des Vaters und des Sohnes und des Heiligen Geistes. Amen. Von wem ist Anneliese verflucht
Who
worden? Im
cursed
Namen des
Annalise?
Vaters
In the name of the
und des
Father.
Sohnes und
Okay,
des
this is the first time we've heard them really trying to figure out who's responsible for this. And the first thing they say is who cursed her, as if someone is responsible for this, caused it, brought this on her.
Heiligen Geistes. Amen. Sage alles.
Be a shame if that's the truth,
Im
that
Namen
someone
Ihr
did
Jesu.
do that to
Scheißding
her.
wurde da.
Im Namen,
Ich vergaß ihn.
im Namen Jesu
Ich
und
schmeiß ihn
im
aber
Namen
auch
Maria
ohne.
befehle ich dir, unreiner Geist, alles zu sagen. Im
I'm not
Namen des
Nicht
unclean.
Vaters
unrein,
und des
no.
Sohnes und
He
des
said,
Heiligen
"You
Geistes.
unclean spirit," and I said,
Amen.
"I'm not
Im Namen Jesu
unclean."
und im Namen Maria
You just
befehle
don't
ich dir,
get it.
unreiner Geist, alles zu sagen. Im Namen des Vaters und des Sohnes und des
Ja, das Scheißloch da ohne ist echt. Ja. Und das andere daneben.
Montiacari.
Ja.
That's another word I didn't understand. Uh it starts screaming about this whole is true. And then it used a word Montiacari and I need to I'm gonna find out what that word means. And part two, when I do the second part, I'll let you all know. Because I've seen that word before, but I'm not sure.
Welches noch?
Das sag ich Ihnen nicht.
Im Namen Jesu
Nein.
Maria befehle ich dir, die volle Wahrheit zu sagen. Vater
Man,
der Lüge.
that voice, that nine, the no, and then the growl and that's pure misery and discomfort that human, whatever is going on in them, is going through. That's not a person faking it. It's not a person with mental health. The I don't know, man. That's someone that's trapped. Like that's and if you believe the situation, her body is what's going through it, but her soul is trapped in there. Behind along with those monsters, 5, 6 of them. It's really similar to multiple personality disorder. This stuff kind of and it's like if they 100% believe it, well, it's true then, right? Like then something did invade their personal soul, loose space,
Ich
whatever.
sage die Wahrheit im Namen des Vaters und des Sohnes und des
Ugh.
Vater der Lüge, sage die Wahrheit im Namen des Vaters und des Sohnes und des Heiligen Geistes. Amen. Im Namen Jesu und im Namen Maria befehle ich dir, alles zu sagen im Namen des Vaters und des Sohnes und des Heiligen
Das
Geistes.
Scheißzeug muss so schnell wie möglich unter die Leute. Die Scheiße.
Die Tonbänder, Kassetten.
Nein.
Im Namen des Vaters und des
Worried
Sohnes
about the
und des
tapes
Heiligen
getting
Ja.
that the tapes get out, but nobody would believe this. And this is interesting. Uh, it starts to tell him that his role is to explain what happened. Nobody would believe it. You need to tell him.
Und was ich noch für ein
You
Wallfahrtsorgan
have to
nennen will.
name it.
Nennen muss im Namen des Vaters und des Sohnes und des Heiligen Geistes. Amen. Du musst es sagen im Namen des Vaters und des Sohnes und des Heiligen Geistes. Amen. Im Namen Jesu und im Namen Maria befehle ich dir es zu sagen, im Namen des Vaters und des Sohnes und des Heiligen Geistes. Amen. Die volle Wahrheit im Namen des Vaters
Die
und
Kirche
des
hat ja
Sohnes
nicht
und des
anerkannt.
Heiligen Geistes. Amen. Hier das Bach.
Harold's Bach. I'm not sure what that was about.
Wann wird es anerkannt?
When will it be acknowledged?
Das haben ihnen nicht fertig gebracht.
Sage die volle Wahrheit.
Ja!
That language, when will it be acknowledged? Nobody, it hasn't yet been acknowledged. It's language that like time travelers would use, like somebody who had to navigate, time scales, because you would have to think, well, when did they learn of this? It hasn't been acknowledged yet, meaning it exists, but it comes out in the future. It's
Vater der Lüge, sage die volle Wahrheit.
they use that language a
Ja,
lot.
ja, ich höre nicht schlecht.
No, 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 I'm not deaf, am I?
Hat die Kirche Heroldsbach verworfen.
That's another thing that started to creep me out the last time I did this deep dive, or attempted to do the deep dive, is I started to notice like a personality to the entity, like that, like yeah, 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 am I deaf? Like it had a wit and like a character. Yeah, it's an entity I don't want to ever meet.
Ja,
Hat die Kirche Heroldsbach verworfen.
sie sind
Trickster,
nicht an.
Hat sie es
like the
verworfen.
giggle.
Wir kennen es nicht an.
Hat sie es
That
verworfen.
voice, man.
Ich sage die Wahrheit im Namen Jesu
Was
Maria.
Harold Bach
Hat die
rejected by the
Kirche
church? I'm gonna
Heroldsbach
have to look into
verworfen.
that too. Fast, almost.
Hat die Kirche Heroldsbach verworfen.
Speak the
Weil die
truth. Was
Wahrheit
Harold
im
Bach
Namen des
rejected by the
Heiligen Geistes.
church? I'm not sure what that reply. I'm gonna look into that
Ja,
too. I'll know
Namen
something
Maria.
about it in part two.
Scheiße.
Hat die Kirche Heroldsbach verworfen, sagt die Wahrheit.
And the name say the
Im
truth.
Namen
So
Maria,
again, they're
der
trying to make it.
Revolutionsfrau.
This is a way to weaken it, I believe. Is when you catch it in a lie, you pray and you force it to admit the truth, because of course, Satan, Lucifer, is the father of lies and deception, and it forces you to break and admit the truth. They do this several times.
Das ist nicht
It's like an
an.
interrogation by a bunch of detectives. I told you.
So schnell noch nicht.
Aha, also doch.
When they're trying to make someone admit small steps.
Sage die volle Wahrheit im Namen des Vaters und des Sohnes und des
Only these
Heiligen
guys use
Geistes.
prayer instead of the
Sage die
threat of
volle Wahrheit im Namen
incarceration,
Jesu und im
whatever.
Namen Maria, im Namen des Vaters und des Sohnes und des Heiligen Geistes. Amen. Es wird also anerkannt werden.
Was meinst du da, Herr Bamse?
That growl. What do you think of Bamberg?
Was meinst du da?
She
Was
is in
meinst du
this
dabei,
place
Bamse?
too.
Ja, da ist er.
Was
She
ist
is
da?
there.
Die ist da.
She is here. But she hasn't been recognized yet.
Okay.
That's interesting too. I don't know what that's
Okay.
about.
Bist du auch
I
da?
believe this is a
Ja.
nun
Ja.
that they're speaking about.
Ja.
Ich
Because
bin
they
der
talk about her in the
Alkoholiker.
later tapes. I'm in it. She's in here.
Ist doch so gut, warum kannst du sie nicht
Why,
melden?
why, why? Okay, I remember this a little bit.
Warum?
Was ist das?
Warum?
Ja, dann sehe ich die Jungfrau.
She
Warum,
steals from
Alter?
us many. Okay, I remember this. There's a nun. It mentions a lot, and you'll notice throughout the other segments, it seems to have a real grudge against some nun, and it claims that she steals souls from us, which means she saves people. She's a saint, like a nun,
Und
like a
so viel
Mother Teresa
Cloud.
or saint, like a saint.
Weil die so viel Seelen rettet. Ne?
And this is like the
Ja.
hidden knowledge
Wir lieben
stuff.
sie. Also,
How did that girl know
ich
about
sehe
that?
das und
Like,
ich lese ja
we
den.
love her. You don't love her?
Hatte ihn von enorm prevalito per versi sian.
Oh, that that
Stedat
groan, man.
antiquatia
The entity is like repulsed by the thought of this person.
Hatte ihn von
Again,
enorm prevalito per versi sian.
we are strong, but this shitty church, this one, it seems to be this one.
Die, die,
The shitty book says.
Die in dem Scheißbuch steht drin.
You mean the Holy Bible,
Stedat
right?
antiquatia Dei.
It's gonna
Weißt du
scream
warum,
at
ja?
him for that.
Die Pforten der Hölle werden
Ja,
Overcome it.
ja.
nicht überwältigen.
The teaching must stay not
Katholische Lehre
falsified.
und
That's
unverfälscht.
bizarre too. That the rages a lot about the teaching and the text staying pure and not being tampered with by man and falsified. Which is why wouldn't a demon want the word of the Bible and the word of God to be falsified like that? Wouldn't that like the demon that you've always thought about in the past would, but maybe we've just been looking at it wrong.
Die ganze Wahrheit zu sagen, im Namen des Vaters und des Sohnes und des Heiligen Geistes.
It
Amen.
must
Ja,
be
die muss
preached
unverfälscht
unfalsified.
verkündet werden.
Welche vor
Scream in
allem?
it. Like,
Die Lehre über die
quit twisting the
Eucharistie.
word of God.
Die Drecksau,
Die Lehre der Eucharistie und die
Ja.
The preaching concerning the angels. What do the candidates for priest must do?
Ich befehle dir alles zu sagen, im Namen des Vaters und des Sohnes
See,
und des
this is where
Heiligen
I
Geistes.
say this.
Amen.
It's like they're trying
Was
to get
müssen die
information.
Priesterkandidaten tun?
It's like they're trying to find out what does God want us to
Befehle dir
do.
zu sagen,
What do
im
the
Namen
candidates for
Jesu und
priests,
im
what should
Namen
they be
Mariens.
doing? And it screams they have to pray.
Wir müssen noch
It's
was
weird,
anderes
right?
tun.
Like these questions.
Lebensführung, wie soll die sein?
What life ought they lead?
Im
That's the
Namen Jesu
question
und
they
im Namen
ask.
Maria
What life
befehle
ought
ich
the
dir,
priest
alles
be
zu
leading?
sagen, im Namen
How
des
should we be
Vaters und des
living?
Sohnes und des Heiligen Geistes.
They
Amen.
must look at this one. This one's interesting. They must be educated in their own seminaries. They shouldn't be on some other universities. Get it? Now imagine middleman for God. Like his almost like his like taskmasters to go down there and kick a priest in the ass. I don't know.
Eigenen Seminaren ausgebildet werden, die dürfen nicht auf die anderen Universitäten. Oh. Kapiert?
Do you have anything more to say?
Ja, sonst noch etwas
The
zu
reversed
sagen.
altar.
Umgedreht, Alter.
It goes into the last segment here.
Vater der Lüge, sage die volle
The
Wahrheit.
reversed altar seems to upset it. I'm gonna have to look into that, and I'll have more about that also. What a reversed altar is. I'm not sure what that is. They ask, what about the reversed altar? What about reversed altar?
Ja, der ist von den anderen, oh, den haben die
Yes, it comes from
Katholiken
others. It's Catholics. So stupid as they are, they
weil
saw
haben
it.
sie selber die
So,
Wahrheit gesagt.
yeah,
Oh, die sind ja so
it's got an issue with the reversed altar.
Ja, ja.
You mean Protestants? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sage die volle Wahrheit.
Da haben sie die wahre Lehre und glauben dran nur.
They took real
Ja,
teaching and they go away like a whore.
Ja, im Auftrag von der. Hoffentlich schmeckt das euch. Nein!
The Catholic teaching must be passed on without forgery. It's a strange thing for a demon to say, huh?
Nicht übernehmen sollen, was der katholischen Lehre
Ja,
schadet.
ja,
They
und
shouldn't
dass
be
sich die
adopted.
Katholiken und vor allem die Oben wie eine Hure benehmen.
Acting like whores.
Glauben den anderen nach, die überhaupt nicht schlecht sind. Ja, und den anderen, das hier noch mehr.
There are many of them here. It wants them to name people. Sandy, go.
Welche anderen? Anglikaner?
Anglican, Orthodox. It starts naming everybody who's not being good Christians, basically.
Die Katholiken.
Those Catholics, of course.
Wie eine Hure. Sie schmeißen ihre Lehre den Zorn zum Fraß.
You have to
Gefahr
tell them.
öffnen.
Tell them everything.
Nein!
So again, it's also almost like a desperate to get a message. Like its mission, its mission in existence, almost like its code is this. It's a mechanism.
Ich zwinge dich im Namen des
You'll
Vaters
see
und
later
des
though,
Sohnes und
there's
des
claims to
Heiligen
be
Solche
six
Geistes.
entities
Sachen
inside of
weiß
it.
der Bischof.
Tell to that
Ich zwinge
bishop.
dich im Namen des Vaters und des Sohnes und des Heiligen Geistes. Amen.
Der soll das immer
That was that poo. It says something vulgar there. I didn't catch it. The Tower of Babel.
Da wird mehr
It's more
gebabbelt.
talking than anything else. Capiche? Look at that. That Tower of Babel. It's more talking than there anything else. Capiche? Capiche? I bet if you ask the family and the friends of Anneliese, I bet she never once said the word capiche.
Kapiert?
Yeah, that was a capiche. Oh, that
Im
creeped me,
Namen
man.
Jesu, im Namen Maria befehle ich dir alles zu
What
sagen, was der
bishop should
Bischof wissen
know?
muss. Im Namen des
Like, what
Ja,
Vaters
bishop are you
und des
talking
Sohnes
in
about?
der Kirche muss das Scheiße.
Im
See if
Namen
they get
Jesu
a
befehle
name of
ich
a
dir alles
bishop.
zu sagen, im Namen des Vaters
Die
und des
Dreckshaus, die machen sie das wieder auf.
Sir, it spit out a bishop. Sir Machen Weber or Wider. See, that's where the secret knowledge and stuff, like the unknown, like that girl didn't know these guys. She didn't know who knew each other inside the church.
Heiligen Geistes. Amen. Im Namen Jesu und im Namen Maria befehle ich dir alles zu
They're
sagen, was
named
der Bischof
more.
wissen muss. Im Namen des Vaters
Helligan,
und des Sohnes und
the
des
names
Heiligen
and stuff.
Geistes. Amen.
That scares
Das
them
muss er
when
doch wissen.
the entity names people. Look, there's more. It looks like it.
Sage ich
And it's like then they're like, "Well, what do you know about him? What do you mean? What do you mean about so and so?
Ja, die
Are they in
Fische,
danger?"
die wüssten, was sie zu tun haben, wenn sie den Papst
If the if it said if the Pope bishops would listen to what the Pope says, they would know what to do. Which I don't know what was going on in the world at the time. What Pope? I'm gonna have to look into what Pope was in office. If he was heavily influenced in teaching that demons are real, we need to take this seriously. I'm gonna have to look into it.
bräuchten sogar eine Synode.
But they don't go that way. Pope is too stupid for them.
Der
But
Papst,
I'm
der
not
ist ja
sure
für
what it
die
said
blöd.
after that.
So ungefähr. Ah, so. Ja.
und des Heiligen Geistes.
Befehle dir im Namen Jesu und im Namen Maria, im
Jetzt
Namen
soll die Botschaft von Heiligen
1976 is when this happens. So coming off of the Cold War. I have nothing more.
Im Namen Jesu und im Namen Maria befehle ich dir alles zu
They're
sagen,
really
was ich
trying to
dem
get it
Bischof
to talk
überbringen
now.
Die
muss.
humane Witte ist entscheidend. Sonst nix.
Nothing more.
Vor allem der erste Teil.
Die ganze humane Güte.
Ja.
That scream creeps me out. That's the one I would start hearing sometimes in my like when I'd be trying to sleep. I would hear it.
Befehle dir im Namen Jesu und im Namen Maria, im
Ja,
Namen des
wenn,
Vaters und des Sohnes und des
wenn
Heiligen
das nicht
Geistes.
erfüllt wird.
I think it's important that
Dann
people hear this
ein
though,
neues.
especially a lot of these UFO Twitter people that want to hear
Jetzt frei.
an interview with an NHI. You want to talk to an NHI? Well, here you go. That's an NHI. It's a non-human intelligence.
Im Namen Jesu und im Namen Maria befehle ich dir, die
I'm
volle
sorry
Wahrheit
it's
zu
not
sagen.
what you wanted.
Im Namen Jesu und im Namen Maria befehle ich dir. Im Namen Jesu und im Namen Maria befehle ich dir, die volle Wahrheit zu sagen. Im Namen des Vaters und des Sohnes und des Heiligen Geistes. Amen.
Ja, es wird schlimm
Worse than the
werden.
last two. This is a
Sehr
little
schlimm.
interesting.
Schlimmer als die beiden letzten.
It's gonna be bad. Where? Here in
Hier.
Europe. Here in
In
Europe.
Europa.
Talking about a war. Talking about catastrophe. It's gonna be worse than the last two. The last two world wars. And it's gonna start in Europe. Well, what? I mean, we have We have a war starting in we have a war that's in Ukraine with Russia, and that could spread at any moment.
Wo in Europa?
Where in Europe? In Europe!
Wo in Europa?
Europe, you idiot!
Die Drecksau, sie verflucht.
It's
Wir
like they're
befehlen die
got their
Wahrheit zu
notebooks. Like,
sagen.
where at in Europe?
Im Namen des
Tell
Vaters
us,
und des Sohnes und
so we
des
can take it back to
Heiligen
the
Der
Vatican.
Geistes.
Scheißdreck muss gefegt werden, sonst ist aus. Ja, sonst ist fertig.
You hear like the growl that keeps going, like in between words. It's almost like static, like I said from a radio.
Ich befehle dir im Namen Jesu und im
Glauben Sie das
Namen
ja doch
Marias.
nicht.
Er wird alles glauben.
Haha,
Befehle dir
betreibe ich ihm schon.
Yes, I will make it so he won't
im Namen
believe.
Jesu und im
That
Namen
was
Marias.
that was the first time I've heard the entity say something that uh is typical, like what I would expect a demon to say. Like, yes, I'll confuse them, I'll make them not believe, and I'll bend their faith, I'll test their faith, make them test God, trust. I'll bend their trust with God, and that's what I imagine demons did. But I never e- considered that they were a tool of God, and they work for Him. They're there to test us.
Alles zu sagen im Namen des Vaters und des Sohnes und des Heiligen Geistes. Amen.
I will leave
Ich
soon.
fahr bald aus.
Wann?
When?
Der Bischof und
Bishop
Pastor
wants
will
to
es
know
auch
when
wissen.
you're gonna leave. He don't need to know that. This is the first time they start talking about when are you leaving? What are you doing here? There's a lot more such people like Red Nose. More. It's basically saying that you I'll leave this one. I'll just jump to someone else. Red Nose, which it mentions Red Nose quite a bit. It must be someone either in the family or someone it seems to be picking at.
Noch
For
mehr.
example, where are they? Where? Everywhere. Demons everywhere.
Jesu und im Namen Maria befehle ich dir, die volle Wahrheit zu sagen. Alles, was du sagen musst. Befehle dir alles
I
zu
command
sagen,
you
was
to
der
tell me
Bischof
what the
von München
bishop should know. That is real interesting too. Like I'm saying, like is he in danger? What's coming? And it's like these priests, they believe that entity has this information, and they want to know. It's not like they're patronizing her or anything.
wissen musst. Im Namen Jesu und im Namen
I won't
Maria.
tell nothing. I
Befehle dir,
command
die
you to
volle
tell
Wahrheit zu
us.
sagen, Vater der
Die
Liebe.
Drecksau,
Im
sie
Namen des
verflucht.
Vaters und des Sohnes und des Heiligen
I will
Geistes.
take care of you. I'm saying it.
Sorg ich.
Das bin ich ja gewöhnt.
Ah,
Im Namen Jesu und im Namen Maria befehle ich dir,
Still there
Moment zu.
outside.
Und die da draußen
des
zu.
Heiligen Geistes. Im Namen Jesu und im Namen Maria befehle ich dir, die volle Wahrheit zu sagen. Im Namen des Vaters und des Sohnes und des Heiligen
Oh
Geistes.
nein.
Im Namen Jesu und im Namen Maria, Vater der Lüge, befehle ich dir, die volle Wahrheit zu sagen. Im Namen des Vaters und des Sohnes und
Oh,
des
this is
Heiligen
really
Geistes.
interesting. Look at this. It just blurts this out of nowhere. Like they're praying over, and all of a sudden the entity goes, "Democracy in church is not always the best thing." Capiche? Because, and it just starts rambling. And it's interesting how the priest kind of react to
Amen.
this.
Die Demokratie in der Kirche ist nicht unbedingt immer das Beste. Kapiert?
Capiche? Because look at it. Because the devil gets the higher power. Look at that quote. Straight from NHI. Democracy in church is not always the best thing because the devil gets the higher power. I mean, it gives me chills, man, goosebumps. To think that might be a quote from an actual demon.
Weil, weil es,
That's
weil
why I think this case is important.
Weil der Teufel größere Macht bekommt.
Yes, because then obedience is bearing. Capiche? See, the priests actually almost agree and like have a little back and forth about it. It's almost like when the one priest agreed that they should be easily recognizable. Like, yeah, I see what you're saying.
Allem stand der Gehorsam und es
And
braucht es
humility.
verwirrt.
Und die Demut.
Yes, it starts. You pigs, you blah blah blah. You
Und die Pfarrgemeinde heute Nacht jetzt
counselor
war.
not reliable too.
Das ist nicht das Wahre. Im Namen Jesu und im Namen Maria.
Ja, im Auftrag von der.
This section's
Volle
about done.
Wahrheit. Sage auch
Der
das.
What
Pfarrer
should
muss
be done?
entscheiden, was gemacht wird.
Sage auch das.
Kapiert?
Sage
Oh
auch das,
man,
was du sagen musst als
that's
gute
screaming
Gewissen
the capacious.
Du redest ja alles gesagt.
Ich hab's ja gesagt.
Priest councils? Priests have to act according to their conscience about this thing. That's interesting also. That's like, man, I don't even want to say it, but when they're asking like, well, what do we do? What should we be doing? What should the priest be doing? It's like, could that possibly be a message? Like, is this entity a middleman for God? Like, priests have to act according to their conscience about this thing. Like, doesn't that sound like y'all are just gonna have to trust in yourself? Like, would a demon say that? Like, that's such a strange thing to say. And I guess you could answer that with, well, that's because it's not a demon. But I don't know, man. This case grabbed me for some reason, and I'm convinced this was an entity speaking through this girl.
In Bezug auf das Ding?
The Eucharist. It mentions the Eucharist quite a
Ja,
bit.
no. Vor allem wenn. Oh. Nein.
Ich sage, ich befehle dir, die volle Wahrheit zu sagen, im Namen des Vaters und des Sohnes und des Heiligen Geistes. Amen. Du musst noch etwas sagen, im Namen des
It's
Vaters
after
und
running
des
from.
Sohnes
Dass
und
in
des
der Kuh rumrennen müsse.
Das ist nicht wahr, muss ich nicht. Das
I
sagt
don't need
keine
no one. I
Wahrheit.
want that one. That's not true. I don't need no one. No one could order it to me. I must be recognizable as priest.
Du wirst nur als Priester erkennt
Oh, that's the
werden.
priest
Ja.
talking.
Ich befehle dir, alles zu sagen, im
He's
Namen
saying
des
you
Vaters
can't tell
und
me
des
what to do.
Sohnes und des Heiligen Geistes. Amen.
Okay, this is really interesting too. He said, one of the priests said in the name of God's Trinity, and the entity says, "You have teased me enough. I have teased you enough. I have teased her enough." And it's a clever way to mock the Trinity. The Trinity is you know the n- name of the Father, Son, the Holy Spirit. It's the Trinity. It's what unites the Christian faith. And when it gives this example of just us all in here, you've teased me enough, I've been teasing you, have I teased her enough? It's just a way to mock them and make a joke of what they're saying, and that's those are the lines where I'm like, this girl, that's not that girl speaking, that's not Anneliese talking, like that's a trickster demon speaking. That was one of my, I don't want to say favorite lines because it's such a grim case, but the ones that really stuck with me was that three, you've teased me, I've teased you, have I teased her enough? And this poor girl lost her life in this case. It's a tragedy all around. Define the day and hour of your leaving. They want to know when it's leaving. Tell us when you're leaving. No, no. Besides, we're in six. It's saying there's six of us. It doesn't matter if I leave. I'm just a you could be talking to the peon right now, and it's like I'll leave. Nothing's gonna change. I was just a tag along to begin with. The real assholes are the other five. Like that's kind of what it's saying. No, there's six. All right, that's the end of that segment. Yeah, man, it's wild. It's just it's a crazy case. The way the Catholic priest approach it, they don't seem too shocked. Like it seems like they've been in these situations before, which they probably have, and they're also there's zero doubt in those priests' minds. They're not. If you notice, they're not trying to like decide is she for real or not. They already know. They're trying to gather intel. Like this is an opportunity for them to build intel. They got a demon here in the flesh, and like I said before, I think that's why the jury probably convicted this group for the death of this young girl, and yeah. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and end here the video. I'll probably have part two tomorrow or the next day, and it'll be three parts. The parts coming up are probably even more as far as like just wild revelations. They talk about guardian angels, how guardian angels work, how the system is set up. It's just a wild conversation, and I'm kind of on that UFO Twitter community. Everyone wants to talk to an alien or an NHI. I think this is about as close as we've got to a recorded conversation with an NHI. And yeah, I think it's something that needs to be looked into a little bit more and reevaluated. Of course, there's going to be the skeptics out there that, oh, it's crazy, it's crazy, it's crazy. And yeah, that's fine. People think that. I just hope people will at least listen to the dialogue with an open mind, and I think you'll see that there's a lot of information given out in these tapes that there's no way a 20-year-old Anneliese Mitchell had. It's just not possible. So. Alright, y'all. Thanks for watching. Like, share, all that stuff, and stay tuned. I'm gonna try to do more, thoughtful projects like this, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace out. Have a good day. Try not to have nightmares.